Alright, so we have a Mule 3010. It's a 2005 Kawasaki Mule 3010, and the starter, or I thought the starter was bad on it. I've removed the old starter and bought a new starter and installed the new starter, and I'm still having the same old problem. Basically, you turn the key and nothing. So what I'm going to do is go through and show the troubleshooting steps that I've done so far and see if I can't isolate what the problem is. I think it's electrical and not mechanical, so we will see. Alright, so again, you turn the key and there would be no start. And with the old starter, I could crawl underneath there and whack it a couple of times with a hammer, get back in, it'd start right up. You'd ride for a while and then it'd stop. You'd turn it off and you'd have to hit it with a hammer again to get it going. So that indicated to me that it was the starter. So I went on Amazon, bought a new starter for this thing, pulled the old one out. That was a booger. Had to actually cut my wrench in half. You can probably see it right there, just to be able to get into a tight spot and loosen the bolts on the old starter. Putting the new starter on did not fix anything. So what I've done is this, originally I thought it was a starter relay, and that wasn't the problem. So here's what happens if you put the starter relay on there. You can hear it clicking, so something's happening. So it's not the starter relay. I was able to also perform another test, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Alright, so I've hooked up my ohm meter, and this is the wire that comes off of the starter. It's the little plug that you plug into the side. And I've got the other end of my ohm meter plugged into the relay where the wire terminates. So I'm checking for continuity, and when we plug that in, where'd it go? It should tone out, and it does. So I've got continuity on that wire, so it's not broken. Alright, checking for the charge on the battery. You can see I've got 12.29 volts. The battery's been on the charger the whole time. Alright, and this is to test the power that is going from the battery to the starter. And if I connect my negative back to the battery, you see I'm getting a 12.24 volts. Again, coming from the starter cable underneath here where the starter connects. I pulled the starter off and just attached the hot wire to the red cable where the connects to the starter. So we got good connection there. This is the old starter. You can see it works just fine. Jumping around a little bit made it disconnect, but it pretty much starts, as you can see. And then if we connect the new starter, it should do the same thing. That appears to be a little bit stronger than the old one, so the starter works. The other thing that I'm testing is the voltage in the relay switch here, and I'm getting a steady 12.36. I've got the battery back on the charger, so we're getting good power. I know we are. So on the positive side of the relay switch, that thicker red wire, there's two red wires under here. The smaller, thinner one goes to the cable on the other side of the starter, but we're getting a steady 12.36. One thing that I failed to mention was that I checked all the fuses in the fuse box also, and none of them are blown. Alright, so after reinstalling the starter, making sure all the wires were connected, trying everything, put a little gas to it and she'll start up. Don't know why it wouldn't start the first time I put it on, but there you go.